Welcome back to Frontline News. I'm Kodian Barrett. It's now time for Frontline Business. Jamaicans are being warned to beware of the debt trap. Executive Vice President of Scotiabank's Retail Banking in Central and North Caribbean, Audrey Tugwell Henry, is urging more consumers to live within their means.
I've seen people who earn a good salary and they still cannot pay their debts because they're just too highly leveraged. And that is driven from, at the outset, spending more than they earn. The first thing to get out of it is to accept that you're really in a debt trap. And then start to be very dispassionate and very practical about how you're going to get out of it. If you can get a debt consolidation loan, that's the best thing. However, the problem with the debt consolidation loan is the discipline. Some people get the debt consolidated. Tomorrow they're going back to spend the credit card. So most banks, when they're consolidating, they take away your credit card because they know you don't have the discipline. So when you get that debt consolidation, you have to say, all right, for 6 months, I'm skinny.
She says although the strategies to avoid the debt trap are tough, they are also simple.
Cut the spending. If you can't cut it by 10%, cut it by 5. If you can't cut it by 5%, cut it by 1, but cut. Some spending has to stop, right? And then when you stop the spending, no more debt. So don't bother use your credit card. Don't bother kind of feel like, oh my God, I need to go on that summer vacation. Let me just borrow $250,000 to get the ticket and the da-da-da. No. Just have a year where you said no more spending. And that's a tough thing, but you have to do it.
The accounts of Venezuela's state oil company, PDVSA, whose subsidiary PDVCaribe controls 49% of Petrojam, have been frozen by Russian lender Gazprombank. The bank also halted transactions with the firm to reduce the risk of the bank falling under U.S. sanctions. The details in this report.
A Gazprombank source confirmed the move in an interview with Reuters on Sunday. Reuters says while many foreign firms have been cutting their exposure to PDVSA since the sanctions were imposed, the fact that a lender closely aligned with the Russian state is following suit is significant because the Kremlin has been among Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro's staunchest supporters. PDVSA brandished the story as fake news on its Twitter account in capital red letters, but did not reply to a request for comment. Reuters reported this month that PDVSA was telling customers of its joint ventures to deposit oil sales proceeds in its Gazprombank accounts in a move to try to sideline fresh U.S. sanctions on the Venezuelan oil firm. Washington says the sanctions imposed on January 28 are aimed at blocking Maduro's access to the country's oil revenue after opposition leader Juan Guaido proclaimed himself interim president and received widespread Western support. Gazprombank is Russia's third biggest lender by assets. The bank has held PDVSA accounts for several years. Kimberly Broderick, Frontline Business.
Honda is set to announce the closure of its Swindon car plant in 2022 with a loss of about 3,500 jobs. The Japanese company made 160,000 Honda Civics in Swindon last year, of which some 90% were exported to the EU. Honda has yet to make a formal announcement, and the Prime Minister's spokesman said Theresa May would not comment until an official confirmation is made. But local MP Justin Tomlinson said he had spoken to Honda, which confirmed it was consulting with all staff, and there is not expected to be any job losses or changes in production until 2021. In Monday's trading session, the JSE Combined Index advanced by 366 points to close at 383,743. Overall market activity resulted from trading in 62 stocks, of which 27 advanced, 22 declined, and 13 traded firm. The Junior Market Index advanced by 12 points to close at 3,109. Stocks advanced for Caribbean Cement, Caribbean Producers, Dermont Trading, Elite Diagnostic, and Fontana Limited. Stocks declined for 1834 Investments, AMG Packaging and Paper, Barita Investments, Caribbean Cream, and Consolidated Bakeries. Trading firm were Berger Paints, Blue Power Group, CAC 2000, Carreras Limited, and Express Catering. JMMB Group was the volume leader with over 1.5 million units, followed by Grace Kennedy with over 800,000 units and Fontana Limited with over 650,000 units. And news in oil. Oil rose for a fifth day on Monday, on track for its strongest first quarter in 80 years, thanks to a growing belief among investors that OPEC supply cuts will prevent a buildup in unused fuel, though concern over China's economy tempered gains. Brent futures were last up 22 cents at $66.47 a barrel, having touched a 2019 high of $66.83. While U.S. futures rose 35 cents to $55.94 a barrel. And that's it for Frontline Business. Regional stories are up next.